Good evening and welcome to Class with Coco. I go by the name of Classy Coco and you already know how it goes. Today, people, I wanted to talk about entity attachments. Now, I'm going to try my best to express myself and explain myself, and hopefully you will get the message that you need from this video. And this is a topic that I'll probably touch on again and again, because as an empath, as someone who feels energy, and as someone who has experienced many things that are outside of the box or metaphysical, there's no explanation out there for me. And there are other people that probably talk about these things, but unless you experience it yourself, it will never be 100% tangible nor real. So I've spoken before about your thoughts and the fact that we are all connected to a collective consciousness in which we have access to things that have been thought about by other human beings and maybe other sources. A lot of the thoughts that you have, they are not your own. You could imagine sometimes, or you've probably experienced sometimes, you'll just be sitting there and random thoughts will just pop up in your head. And a lot of the times we have no control over what we think, nor understand why we think those things. From my experience, there are thoughts that go against the grain of who I am, and therefore I know that it's not my unconscious mind just thinking for itself. There are thoughts that are being introduced to me to see how I react and whether I take those thoughts on as my own. When a person takes on thoughts as their own, they accept them as a part of them. And normally when a person does this, it's because there is something within their own psyche that resonates with those thoughts, and thus they would accept those thoughts. When you have thoughts that oppose your nature and who you are, you reject those thoughts, and therefore those thoughts cannot grow into the physical. The reason why I use the word entities is because I don't know how else to explain where these thoughts come from and why sometimes they just seem to attach themselves to us and attack us all the time. I've watched a video on YouTube and this man is explaining that entities can attach themselves to us and experience this world through us. And when he said that, it made perfect sense to me, because a lot of the things that we do that are specifically bad, indulging in multiple sexual partners or just being addicted to sex and, drinking and drugs. Obviously, there's other scientific reasons why people will become addicted to drugs, because of the chemicals within them, and our minds produce certain chemicals that make us need those drugs. But I feel like what he said makes perfect sense to me, because some of the things I've seen have been really out of this world, and I've literally seen spirits. And when I say seen, it's not physical like how I would see a person or look outside and see physical things, tangible things that I can touch, but it's almost like my third eye is able to perceive those spirits, and they run through people, literally. And so entities are able to experience the world through us. And you have to imagine that everything that you do, you enjoy it or dislike it based on how it makes you feel. The feeling of that action is why you do things. So these entities are able to harness or harvest that energy from those things that you do, and they can still experience this world and enjoy it. I haven't gone into, deep thought about what kind of entities these could be, and I don't want to speculate and say things that may scare people, but we're all human souls, and we are energy, and the law of physics is that energy cannot be destroyed or created. So where does these energies go once they are not within a vessel, i.e. a human body, for them to be able to do things? At the depths of a person's soul is the truth of who they are, without their brain, without, the physical body. I myself, I yearn for things that are not worldly. The consumerism of this world and the things that, to me, that we do, which is not much. I don't think there's much to do in this world. And so my soul yearns for more. A person such as myself, when I leave my vessel, obviously I don't know 100% what's going to happen, but I'm sure that my soul would want something more than this 3D world has to offer, or 5D world, whatever it is, has to offer. But there's some people that within their souls, all they yearn for is money and physical things that are only available on this plane. And so therefore, how do we know that they don't decide to roam this plane and, experience these things via other vessels, as opposed to going somewhere else? Now, I'm speaking about these things, and I believe in God. I believe in my creator. However, my creator designed me with a brain to think, and a mind to a soul to discern, and a mind to think and also discern. And so I don't feel like I'm doing anything bad in exploring my mind and exploring the possibilities of life. I feel as though there's a lot of souls that are wandering on this earth that inhabit other human beings, and through their energy they're able to live through you vicariously, and therefore enjoy the feelings that come from doing certain things. I don't know exactly where the implanted thoughts come from, but it feels like it comes from outside myself. Therefore, I wonder if, the people who actually run this world, who we'll never see, they're never going to show you who's actually behind all these systems that they're running. Obviously, they understand the human brain, and they know that certain frequencies can interfere with the human being's mind. Every word in this universe has its own energy signature. And so they're able to put that energy out there, and, in the form of frequency, which then our brain translates into a thought or a feeling sometimes. And so human beings need to know that they can be in control of themselves, but only if they are aware of the outside influences, and not just aware of physical people being influential in their lives, but what they watch, what they see, what they hear is able to influence them. Plus, there's things that we don't see nor hear that can also influence us. So I just wanted to make this video because I feel very invigorated after watching this person talk on certain subjects, because to me it makes sense. And even if it wasn't 100% perfect sense, because I am a human being, I still live in this physical realm. I have experienced things in which I can relate to what he's saying. And it's always good to know certain things just in case it becomes useful to you based on your experiences within life. There's a lot of people talking about things that seem very taboo these days, and it's very good to see people thinking outside the box and not just conforming to this world in the state that it is. We have to take control of who we are. We have to take control of what we think, and we have to question some of the things that we think about. There's also a phenomena that I have experienced, and this is why I say and feel like I'm under spiritual attack, because those are the best ways that I can describe it based on the knowledge that I have access to and the knowledge that I have. And that is that not only can thoughts be implanted, they can also be taken away from you. And so you can imagine that there's certain people who have great insights or downloads and are unable to share these because they're almost in a state of not even remembering when they need to what they have to relay or express. And I myself can testify to this because I don't want to sound egotistical. There are so many things that I've researched and so many things that I've been through that I just find so difficult to put into words. And for the life of me, I think, well, what's wrong with you? Like, just write your book. And I can't. Every time I pick up the pen, it's like I turn into an airhead, and it's either outside energies get sent my way by calling my phone or by distracting me in some way, or I just don't remember anything. And to me, that doesn't make sense when I know what I want to write about. So on that note, I hope I haven't spoken in a way that is not easy to understand, but I've tried to express myself the best way that I can. And so I hope you've got something from this video. Catch up with you all soon. Bye.